welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and it's Sunday, so I am here with Scraplift Crafternoon, a hop where a group of my friends get together, find some inspiration, and scraplift it. And today we are scraplifting this West London scrapbooker on Instagram. I am using the lovely, brand new to me, Reasons to Smile by Shamel and documenting two adorable pictures of my grandson. Not that he knows how to take a picture that's not adorable. And I have the project pad for the Reasons to Smile. I also have tons of ephemera bits and embellishments. I've got some alphas, which I don't end up using, and some stickers, puffies, things of that nature. And then for the stamping, I'm going to use this Tim Holtz Distress ink and stamps, because she's got some inking or something right here I thought that I would use some of my stamps for. So I've got my papers, lots of embellishments, my stamps and ink, these pictures, and this gorgeous fun sketch or layout. So let's see how this goes. So I'm going to start with this paper that is 2x2 squares. And I thought I'm going to go ahead and cut. If I did it solid without the gaps, it'd be 20 squares. But I don't want to do that. I want to stick with generally the concept that she's got, which is the gap between the squares and then color on color embellishments. So that's mostly the goal. I cut the ones out that I feel are either appropriate or that I like. I'm not worried about having like more than one of each or the same amount, because there's like 3 of the light pink, 2 of the purpley blue, 2 orange, but then there's like 1 red, 1 teal. I just wanted to find the icons that were in the middle to be fitting, or something like there's ice cream cones. Well, I didn't really want those on here. Those will come in handy later. Backpack, some wordy bits like adulting is hard. Well, he's not adulting. So that's fine. I do have one on here that you can see now that's got like a potted plant. That's going to end up getting covered. Then there's one up in the top corner that doesn't, which is fine. But I just felt like the rainbows and the cameras and the little word cute, of course, are pretty fitting. And then there's one on here that says happy. So I just wanted it to be icons that worked for what I was going for. So I'm actually using a T-ruler. Yes, it's still not going to be perfectly lovely because I just can't do that. But I actually use a ruler, which is impressive because I normally just eyeball it. I start at the bottom with that little white rainbow, which I ink both the white ones because I knew that they wouldn't stand out very well. And I just inked it with what's left over on my dauber of black soot, which is my typical go-to. Which is also what I'm using here with this Tim Holtz Distress stamp. He is in the car seat. That's not why I use the tire tread stamp. I just felt like it was the most fitting and closest to the concept of what she has in hers. Is like a really cool, it might actually look like buildings, like yeah, I think it's a stamp with like high-rise buildings. And it's really cool. I didn't even pay attention to what her pictures were of until I was showing this layout to a friend, and it was like, this is such a cool these are such cool pictures. So, but anyway, I have decided I'm going to mat my layout. I originally looking at hers, and I don't know if you can see it very well depending. It looks like it's matted on wood grain, but actually I think that might be her background, like her table that she takes her pictures on. But I thought, gosh, I think this would look really good if it was matted. It would bring everything together. So I ended up matting it on this orangey color. There's only one orange square on my paper. There's a lighter orange with a darker orange star, but I thought that this would be perfect because it helps bring that color forward. And I also gut the middle so that I can mat my 2 pictures with that. So I've cut my pictures down to 3.5 by 4.5. So my mats are 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. So I get that done, and I'm putting those down there where hers are. Now mine are probably bigger than hers. Hers are probably 3 by 4, because they definitely don't take as much space, but I wasn't cutting these down any further, and I kind of wanted them to be a little bit on the bigger side, because that face, y'all, I love this child so much, and I know that that is obvious and apparent and kind of like a duh, but he just brings me so much joy because he is always so smiley. Now, does he cry? Sure. Is he fussy occasionally? Sure. When he was sick, he was, bless his little heart, still not all that rough. I've had a rough baby. I love him dearly, but this little dude is just the most calm, cool, just easy. I took him to work with me today, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, he is just so chill. I'm like, he really is. He fussed once. He was hungry. I fed him. He was done. I mean, like, he's super simple, and he was there for over 2 hours, like, just hanging out and being loved on. So, he's just the most chill kid. So anyway, this is me. I take him to school almost every morning, or to daycare, I guess I should say. And the first picture of him in that little outfit, I had opened the door when I got to the daycare to get him out, and that is the face he gave me, that sweet, big, cheesebally grin. And then at the end of the day, I take him home, and he almost always, 99% of the time, falls asleep in the car. And then when I get him out of the car and carry him into the house in his carrier, especially if he's sleeping, I will open it up and get him out and put him in his bed. So when I opened it, he was wide awake. Like, he'd been asleep when I got him out of the car. But when I got upstairs to put him down, I pulled the little cover over his car seat off, his eyes were huge, and he just smiled so big at me. I was just like beaming. So reasons to smile, this is definitely one of them. Not just him himself, but the fact that he is so smiley and so sweet and such a chipper little kid. He giggled and laughed so much today, and we really weren't even being all that entertaining. He was helping at dismissal at the end of the school day. So anyway, I did color on color for a lot of these little squares. Some of them are not exactly color on color, like hers are all like the pattern paper, stars and circles, like she punched them out with maybe a punch. And I considered doing that, but I had enough embellishments that I felt like I could get something on here that was pretty close. And the little wood grains are like that. So I am thrilled with the way it turned out. Her layout is adorable. I love it. I love those pictures. They're so cool. And it's a unique idea. I've not seen anything like it before. And that's one of the things I love about this. There's 10 or 11 of us in Scraplift Crafternoon. And so we're all on different people's Instagram and YouTube. And so I love finding new people. So I have gone and followed this West London scrapbooker. She has some fantastic creations. I hope you'll go check her out. Her information will be below in the description box. I also hope you'll go check out all the other lovely creatives that I scrap lift with every Sunday. They are also listed below, and there is a playlist. And I hope that you will come hang out with me some more. I'd love it if you give me a thumbs up if you like my video and or my layout. And I hope you'll come back and hang out with me again sometime. Have a great day. I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. And happy scrapping.